Okay, good afternoon. So this is now the discussion for engineering economics. Okay? Ano ba focus natin today? Our focus will be number one, the discount, the rates of interest, and the compounding and continuously compounding types of interest. So let us begin. Okay, so ayan, makikita nyo. We will talk about discount. Okay, first muna. So, every after the discussion na magkaroon tayo ng 5 sample problems, we'll take a break. Okay, so let us now begin with itong discount. Now, ano bang meaning na discount pagdating ng engineering economics? Sir, yan yung kina-cut off dun sa binibili mo na presyo, discount. Okay, that is somehow true. Pero pagdating ng iyong tawag dito, pagdating ng engineering economics, discount is a term that occurs when a transaction requires that interest be paid in advance, usually at the start of the interest period. Ibig sabihin, hindi yan yung kina-cut off mong price from the principal. Okay? Pagdating ng bumili ka. Pero ito is somehow relative to that. Paano? Yan yung, wari, nangutang ka. Okay? Nangutang ka, syempre, meron kang principal na pera inutang mo. And that principal, tutubo yan in the form of interests. Okay? But, yung interest na yon dun sa total, okay, plus I, di ba? That will be equal to F. I pala dapat malaki. Yan. Future amount. Ibig sabihin, yung interest mo at dun sa inutang mo, maibabawas na kagad, and that is the discount. Okay? It is the interest paid in advance. So, makukuha mo pala yung pera, ibabawas na kaagad yung interest doon. Okay? So, usually, at the start of the interest period yun. Yan yung discount. Okay? Hindi yan yung binili mo, kinunan mo ng discount kasi senior citizen ka na or student ka. That is not right. Discount is denoted with the big letter D. Okay? And then, yung discount na yan is equal to the future amount and then the principal amount that you have borrowed. Now, paano natin makuha yung discount, sir? Kung meron tayong principal, okay, the interest rate is equal to EPIN. Yan, EPIN. Now, you are given yung D, discount, that will be equal to the future amount multiplied to the discount rate. Ayan, rate. Ibig sabihin, in every rate that is in percentage or decimal form and the number of periods na kinunan mo ng discount. Now, ayan yun D. Okay? And then, the principal amount is equal to the future amount multiplied to 1 minus DN. Somehow, this is relative din sa relative ito dun sa ating simple interest. Diba sa simple interest, yung future amount mo is P, 1 plus I and N. Dito, minultiply mo sa F, yung 1 minus TN. Yun. So, paano makuha yung interest rate? Okay. Now, the interest rate is equal to the discount rate, okay, multiplied by interest rate plus the discount rate. Ngayon, paano makuha yung discount? Sir, madali lang yan. Okay? Yung discount is equal to, punta tayo dito. Discount is equal to, F minus P. F minus P. Simplify natin, okay? Di ba ang discount is equal to ngayon, F dN. Equate mo dito. F dN equal to F minus P. Pagsamahin natin yung merong yung merong F. So, F dN minus F equal to negative P. Ngayon, i-multiply natin by negative 1. So, ano kalalabasan yan? Sinisimplify ko na. That will be equal to F 1 minus dn equal to P. Okay, may nakita ba kayong familiar? Iba yan. So, this is now the best way for you to solve it. Yan. Ito mga formula nito. 3. Okay? That will be the formula. Now, pwede mo rin dito makuha. So, ilabas mo yung D, I plus 1D. Ngayon, yung discount rate will be equal to interest rate divided by 1 plus I. Ito ulit yung another formula. Okay, mamaya magbibigay tayo ng sample problem dyan. Now, we will go to our compound interest. Siyempre, kaiba yan sa simple interest, yung compound interest. Sir, paano po? So, yan. It is the interest earned for a given interest period. Okay? And then, is calculated based on the principal plus the accumulated interest at the start of the period. Okay. Sir, medyo magulo. Ibig sabihin, yan yung principal mo, dinagdagan mo ng interest, at yung magiging total nun, magkakaroon ulit ng interest from time to time within the given periods of time na kung saan lalawak or lalaki ang inyong pera. Hindi katulad ng simple interest. So, simple interest, okay, cumulative lang yung kanyang interest until the period. Ibig sabihin, yung principal mo hindi gagalaw. Anong gumagalaw doon? Ang gumagalaw doon is the interest. Okay? Yung interest mo, i-add mo lang siya doon sa iyong principal para makuha mo yung future worth mo. Pagdating dito, yung principal mo, dadagdagan mo ng interest, okay? And then after nun, yung principal plus interest mo will be again the principal for another period of time. Ibig sabihin, continuously, tumutubo yung pera mo. At yung pera mong in-invest, magkakaroon ng tubo, at yun ulit, magiging cumulative, kakaroon ng tubo, and so on. Ganun yung kanyang pagpapakahulugan in Tagalog. Yun. So, it is the comparison ng dalawa. Okay. So, sir, kung ito, sa simple interest, yung pera mo in future worth will be equal to P multiplied by 1 plus IN. Ibig sabihin, isa or 1 part of your 100% of your principal, i-add mo lang dun sa interest periods and then the interest rate. That will be the amount after how many times, okay? Or how many periods ang lumipas. Pagdating na compound interest, yung interest rate mo, i-add mo doon sa 100% of the rate of your principal, it will be exponentially growing. Ito na yon. Yan ang compound interest. Now, there are 3 types of compound interest. Okay? Meron tayong nominal, meron tayong actual, at effective rates. Sir, may pinagkaiba ba yan? Yes, there is. Let us see. Now, for the types of interest for compound interest, example, meron tayong sinabi dito, 12% compounded quarterly. So, you have to take note on the words coming after nung rate of interest mo. Sinabi niya, 12% compounded quarterly. Now, is it nominal? Is it effective? Or is it actual? Now, in 12%, that is sinabing nominal interest period, interest rate. Now, the word will be compounded. Kapag nakalagay dyan, 12% compounded, tanggalin mo si quarterly. Kumari, wala si quarterly. Takpan mo si quarterly. Wala siya. So, that will be commonly nominal interest na. Okay, yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Now, kapag sinabing nominal, that is I and N. Okay. Means, pag compounded quarterly, it means 4 na beses yung mode of compounding mo sa iisang interest period. Okay. Now, how will we get yung actual? Now, kapag actual interest rate, okay, the actual interest rate, sinabi lang niya compounded. Okay? Compounded. 12% compounded. Okay? Paano makukuha yan? I N over M. Okay. Ang actual interest rate is the rate of interest that is defined as yung nominal interest rate mo, i-divide mo sa number of modes of compounding. Yan yung actual interest. At paano naman siya magiging effective rate, sir? Magiging effective rate yan kapag i-convert mo yung isang mode of compounding to another mode of compounding. Then that is now will become yung IE mo. Pakita natin mamaya. Okay? Now, punta muna dito tayo sa compounding frequency. Okay. Kapag ang M mo, that will be sinabi, compounded annually. So, that is one time compounding mode. Semi-annually, dual, quarterly, 4, monthly. So, there are 12 months in a year. So, 12. Bi-monthly, ibig sabihin, dalawang buwan muna bago mag-compound. Pag semi-monthly, ibig sabihin, 2 beses, isang buwan siya magko-compound. Kapag weekly, lingguhan ang compounding niya, daily, and continuously in perpetuity hanggang sa matepok ka. Okay? Yun ang pinagkaiba nila. Now, for elaborated definition, ito yan. Pag sinabi naman po, 12% quarterly, hindi sinabing compounded quarterly. Wala na yung word na compounding. Yan. Pag tinanggal na yung word na compounding, okay, actual interest yan. 12% quarterly. Ibig sabihin, you don't have to do this at all. Okay. Hindi ka nadadaan dito. Ibig sabihin, 12% quarterly ang gagawin mo. Ipapasok mo na yung 12% doon sa iyong problem. Mamaya papakita natin kung paano yan. Okay? Wala na yung compounded. Okay? Compounding quarterly or compounded quarterly. Wala na yan. Yung word na yan. Ibig sabihin, therefore, pag ginanyan yan, actual interest rate. Pasok mo na kagad siya sa iyong equation. F will be P multiplied by 1 plus I raised to N. Okay? Pasok mo na agad siya dyan. The number of interest period multiplied by M. Ito ang general form niya kapag compounding interest. Going back. Sir, ano po ba ang general form niya? The general form will be equal to P 1 plus I raised to N and M. Now, kapag sinabi nating actual interest, kapag actual interest, okay, wala siyang sinasabi yung word na compounding. Ngayon, ito yung gagawin nating formula. Sir, paano naman kapag effective rate of interest ang sinabi or nominal? Kapag nominal, okay, nominal muna tayo. The future worth of your money will be equal to P 1 plus yung nominal, divide mo ng M, raised to N and M. Kapag binigay sa'yo is nominal. Okay. Sir, meron bang ibig sabihin itong 1 plus I? Okay. Di ba ang paghanap ng inyong principal, F over 1 plus I raised to N? May ibig sabihin ba to, sir? Yes, there is. Dito, makikita natin that 1 plus I raised to N is ginagamit natin to find your future worth. Now, anong ibig sabihin dito? This now will become single payment compound amount factor. Okay? Ginagamit natin dyan. Single payment compound amount factor or SPCAF. Ngayon, kapag kukunin mo naman si principal, okay? Kapag principal naman, okay, this will be 1 plus I raised to negative n. I-divide mo yung worth ng money mo para mahanap si present worth. Anong tawag dito? Now, ang tawag dito sa mga factors na to, okay, amount factors, compound amount factors. Pero pagdating dito, simple, present worth, compound, simple present worth, amount factor. Yan. SPCAP, SPPAF, or SPPWF. Single payment present worth factor. Ayun. Single payment, buray natin. Single payment. Single payment present worth factor. Again, ulitin natin. Single payment present worth factor. Ito, single payment compound amount factor. Kapag ang hinahanap mo is the future worth, SPCAP. Pag hinahanap mo present worth, SPPWF. Those are the factors na kailangan mo tandaan. Okay? So, that is for interest rate. Now, ano bang ibig sabihin ng actual interest rate of an investment? Actual interest rate of an investment in 1 year or the interest rate for any compounding that will give the same accumulation as the compounded annually. Yan. Hindi mo na kailangan gumamit ng effective rate of interest conversion. Sir, saan po ba natin ginagamit? Let us discuss it later. Again, kapag hindi sinabi sa problem kung ano ang iyong compounded interest, okay? Pag sinabi, quarterly lang, 12% quarterly, as is, that is actual interest rate. Ngayon, kapag sinabi sa problem, compounded quarterly, ibig sabihin that is the nominal rate of interest. Now, kapag wala sinabi, any of the two, okay? Pag sinabi lang, it is compounded 12%, okay? As is, that is, ano na kagad yun? That is actual interest. Yan. Okay? Ito yun. Now, ito yung mga notes to take in. For effective interest rate, it is the exact rate of interest earned for a principal during 1 year period. Ngayon, i-convert natin siya. Kung meron kang 12% yearly, i-convert mo siya to compounded annually. Mamaya, pakita natin yon. Okay? May formula po ba dyan? Ito yung formula, mga ma'am, mga sir. Ayan. The effective rate of interest. Ibig sabihin, yung compounded term mo, ita-translate mo lang siya in any mode. Ita-translate mo into an annual mode. Ayan, ang ating effective interest rate. Sample, yung 12% yearly mo, kapag inapat na beses mo of modes of compounding, it will be equal to what? It will be equal to 4% annually? Hindi natin alam. We will compute. Pero, kapag na-convert mo yan, then therefore, the interest rate can be an IE, a nominal, and then an actual interest rate. Ayan. So, for the formula, ito na yung sinabi ko kanina. Ayan. Ito, the future worth will be equal to P bracket 1 plus I, N, that is nominal, divided by the mode of payment, multiplied to P, and then raised to yung power NM. Ano ba yung M? That is the mode of the payment, mode of the compounding, and then multiplied to the number of terms or number of years na meron ka. Now, the factors in compound interest, yun, yung sinasabi ko. Kapag positive, ang hinahanap mo is future worth. Single payment. Bayad na kagad yun, future worth eh. Kapag naman, single payment compound amount factor. Ayan, compound amount na yun eh. And then, kapag naman, hinahanap mo yung present worth, i-erase mo lang negative n. Ang tawag dyan, single payment present worth factor. Okay? Those are the two. Now, sir, continuous compounding. Okay. So, continuous compounding, ibig sabihin that your money will compound into how many terms? We do not know. Kasi nga, ang nilagay dyan, the number of modes of payment na meron ka at the compounding period is infinity. Continuous. Hindi nag-end. Walang katapusan. Okay? Ganun yun. And then by derivation, dinerive na niya. Okay? So, ano po ba yung formula natin dyan? Okay? Sir, tandang-tanda natin yung formula dyan. Kasi, alam na alam yan ni Sir. Kasi, crush niya yan nung college. Nag-aaral siya. Okay? The future worth of the amount is equal to, katunog, di ba? Katunog. Si Bern. Yan. Crush ni Sir nung college. Yan. Si Bern. And ito naman, to find the future worth of the continuous compounding money, it is best to remember yung burn. Pero gagawin natin si burn, katunog, sounds like, o di burn. Where P is the principal amount of the money you have borrowed, and then R is the rate of interest, and then and then N, the number of interest periods. Okay? Yan yung continuous compounding. And we'll go to cash flow diagram. Ano po ba yung cash flow diagram? Kailangan mo ng cash flow diagram. Bakit? Kasi hindi lang sapat na marunong kang word for word analyzation. Kailangan marunong ka din, marunong ka din mag-balance out ng iyong pera, ng cash flows. Ibig sabihin, what goes in, goes out in a certain amount. And it is a graphical representation of the cash transactions for a given interest period. It is drawn with an equally segment horizontal line representing the time scale of the period. Ibig sabihin, para siyang for system. Kung saan kapag meron kang money na lumabas, ibig sabihin, meron din dapat na money na ipapasok ka at a certain period of time or a time frame in a given interest period or in a given mode of payment. Kung saan tutubo yung money na yon. Now, this is an example of your cash flow diagram. Okay. Ibig sabihin, itong mga flows na ito, it somehow, there came a time na mag-equal sila at some point. Ito. Ibig sabihin, nag-deposit ka. Every pababa, pa-deposit. Every pataas, ibig sabihin, kinuha mo withdrawal. Deposit 1,000 today, deposit 2,500 at the end of the third year. So, paano binibilang yan? Mare, nasa gitna yung number of years. Kapag behind that is, ibig sabihin, that is present. After that is future. Ibig sabihin, nag-elapse na yung 1-year period. Okay. Doon mo bibilangin yung number of years. Every after nung brackets. Okay? Pagpataas, withdrawal. Pagpababa, deposit. For payment, dito, kita, revenue. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ganito, binalance out mo, equal daw. No! Simplifying transactions does not happen like this one. Kasi, money that is projected at any point in time is never equal to the first time it is, withdrawn or deposited. Kasi, tumutubo ang pera mo. It will never be equal at different time frames. Yan. It will only be possible only if the transactions happen at the same time. Ibig sabihin, nag-withdraw ka ng 1,500 o di ibig sabihin, kinuha mo, nag-deposit ka ng 1,500, then that is equal. Pero this is not equal, itong dalawang transactions na to. Okay? So, that is the representation now for your cash flow diagram. Now, pakita naman natin sa cash flow diagram kung paano natin kinakalculate yan. Now, yung amount mo na inilagay dito, okay, will be, negative and then positive. Yan yung representation niya. Okay? Kung mula dito hanggang dito, ibig sabihin, yung amount mo will profit at some point. Okay? Kung mula dito pabalik, ibig sabihin, pwede mong i-project as principal, pwede mo rin i-project dito as future worth. Ganun yun, ha? Pagpabalik, pa-principal siya, pagpapalaon or to the future, pa-future amount. Pero there is a case and there is a technique kung saan all your transactions, you can put it up into present worth or future worth. Whichever is convenient to you. I will show it to you later on. Okay? Ganun yung gamit ng cash flow diagram. Pero since pupunta kayo ng inyong board exam, although this is the most basic way of solving transactions ng EECO, lalo na pag nag-multiply yan, nag-multiple transactions ka, kunwari, at some point, meron kang dineposit, magwi-withdraw ka at some point, ganun, mas maganda i-represent mo sila using cash flow diagram. Anyway, sa akin, hindi naman ako nagka-cash flow diagram kasi it takes a lot of time sa pagka-cash flow pa lang. Paano kung mali ka na sa cash flow diagram, di mali na lahat ng transactions and calculations mo. That is the setbacks ng cash flow diagram. But visually, kapag marunong ka mag-cash flow diagram, then you can, kaya mong manipulate na lang yung mga transactions mo and you can solve it in easiest way you can. Okay? And that will be all for the discussions. So, later on, magkakaroon tayo ng problem solving. Marami yan. Okay? Let us take a 5-minute break.